how Egyptians were more intelligent than us and built the pyramids and we can't do it today and they are aligned with the zodiac and all that?
No.
Yeah, the Egyptians were more intelligent than us today. Right now, Donald Trump team cannot build a pyramid. Nobody knows how to do that. They're super intelligent. If they were super intelligent, why did they believe this? They believe that the animal you eat, you adopt its spirit. So if you eat a chicken, you're as smart as a chicken. If you eat a fish, you're as stupid as a fish. If you eat lion, you become brave.
They ate lion?
A lion heart, yeah. And so I always thought that was silly. Like, oh, they just didn't know. But they knew more than us, bruh. So what if they're right about that? Like, to us, chicken's just chicken. But bro, if you eat the animal, even if it suffered a lot, you adopt its suffering, they tell us now. What if they make us eat chickens to be like a chicken and weak? Like, imagine if they could serve a lion meat.
How does that make any sense at all? How could they be so much smarter than us thousands and thousands of years ago? And how come the descendants of them and the knowledge they passed down couldn't help us create more pyramids right now? Like, literally right now, why can't we create those contraptions and other things just like it? That's because they didn't actually create it. Like the actual forbidden book that the Pharisees, the very hypocritical people that want to maintain power in the church, took out of the Bible. And if you're into these conspiracy things, then you should learn about the very much of the Bible that is the Book of Enoch. And the Book of Enoch talks about how the aliens or whatever are really just demons, and the demons are the ones who created all of these things, and they were shown as gods among men, and they tried to take God's power away and tried to say that they are the gods, which is why they were cast out of heaven and sealed under the earth, and which is why in the end of times, literally, this is how it supports the Book of Enoch, and how you can say, if someone says, oh, it's not a part of the canonical thingy, then you could literally just tell them that in the Bible it says that in the end of times he'll unseal the earth and let those demons that were the worst of demons, those demons that tried to rule the world and pretend to be gods, and the ones that were idols were made out of, and all these religions aside from the real God were formed, they will come out and they will sting people and they will attack people and they will create atrocities on earth as part of judgment. So if the Bible supports it, then you can't say that it's not part of the Bible, because it supports the very thing that Enoch was saying. And by the way, who is Enoch? Enoch's the only other person to actually go into heaven besides us, like resurrected, like straight to heaven, besides the coming day where we will all be resurrected. He was the very first. Right before Noah did his ark, he was the first to go up, and he was the one who was basically the messenger from God to these demons that were trying to act like him, because they got caught in the act, and he told them basically, you're gonna be sealed under your earth and you're gonna suffer for what you did, because you very much corrupted the society. You created the giants by breeding with the women, or sometimes RPing them, yeah, I can't say that on YouTube, and doing very disgusting things, and teaching them magic and making them witches, and then bringing your dark magic that's aside in a perversion from my magic onto them, because God's magic is the Holy Spirit, obviously, and God did grant them magic, but then they used it for bad and perverted it, so it became dark and forbidden magic, which is why witches were always hunted during that time, because they were dangerous and they were doing very bad things to people. But here's the thing. They created all those ancient civilizations. You know, Thor, yeah, that's really just a demon. All these Egyptian gods, quotes, were just demons pretending to be God because they wanted to have a grasp of his power, and they were jealous of it. And then they wanted to taste of the woman, which that says what it says in that book. And that they created all of these big cities, these high-tech cities that we can't create now, even though it's been thousands of years of learning and thousands of years of all this, because it doesn't come from man, it comes from heaven, because God gave them that power, and they use it for bad, and they used it against them. So no, it doesn't have anything to do with them being smarter than us. It has to do with them not doing it, and the demons doing it, and the quote-unquote gods doing it, because they didn't actually do it, and there's no proof that they actually did it at all. Oh, there's proof because of language. You don't think demons can invent a language, and you don't think demons can do this. No, this was a time when they had heavenly power from God, and they knew all the forbidden arts that they gave among man, which says in that Bible, like warfare, weapons, how to make them, and all of these things, and so much more. There's so much that they taught them, like dark magic and other stuff, and seduction. There was so much that they taught them that they used for bad and corrupted humankind to the point where God had to flood the literal earth, and which is why mankind is still corrupted to this day. It was originally corrupted by original sin, but also it was further corrupted by bringing all these forbidden arts that were only meant to be used for good and to be used within God's sanctity, but then they used it for bad, which is why they destroyed humanity even further than it already was, and which is why it has nothing to do with Egyptians being quote-unquote smarter than us, because they couldn't make that if we couldn't make that, because the demons made it. They're not smarter than us. They're just during a time where the demons made it. Or their predecessors, like the current day Egyptians, would be so much smarter and would be ahead of the curve. They would be bigger than America if they were that smart, because the Egyptians were huge throughout the Middle East, throughout. Like their reach was huge, even though they're in Africa, North Africa, they were still reaching among, like literally the Hebrews. They were reaching throughout the whole Middle East. The literal Romans from Southern Europe knew about them, which absolutely means, and the Greeks, because the Greeks did conquer them at some point, which absolutely means that these people had far reach, which means if it really was the humans, they would be conquering the world. So it has nothing to do with that at all. It's all in the book of Enoch. Please read it.